Shapkunjan Buffet, here are five things we learned from United's 1-0 loss to Crystal Palace. Number one, Rashford needs to be dropped. Marcus Rashford is undoubtedly our number one player, probably the highest earning player now. Is our marquee player. But Ten Hag is trying to build a team where your starting position is based on your performance. And he himself said you're only as good as your last performance. And at the moment, not that we're against Marcus Rashford, but he's not on form. And Garnacho is on form. One thing we've seen with this United team is that youngsters are really hungry. They really want to be part of the team. When Garnacho came on, he did 10 times more than what Marcus Rashford did in the whole game. Number two, Hannibal Mejbri needs to keep his place in the team. We need his energy, we need his industry, we need his hunger in the middle of the field. And that was lacking against the Crystal Palace game. I don't blame Ten Hag for putting Mejbri on the bench. For one, he is prone to get a red card very soon because of the way that he plays. But I think it's worth the risk because he gives us so much control in the game. There was so much balance in the midfield in our cup game earlier in the week when we beat Crystal Palace 3-0. If we're trying to build a team where people are in the team because they deserve to be in the team, then Mejbri needs to stay. Number three, Pelistri is not ready. Look, Pelistri has been in decent form, but there's still some rough edges in his game. For one, he's bounced off the ball really easily. His final delivery is not quite there. He's not ready to be a Manchester United player. That's not to say that he's a bad player. That just means he needs more time to develop. So we need to be ruthless. And I know Anthony's been out. He's expected to come back probably after the international break. I think in the meantime, put Mount on the right. That's where he did really well for Chelsea. So why not put him out on the right? Number four, there needs to be a performance policy in this United team. Ten Hag has been talking about how he's not a respecter of persons. I think the team needs to be based on who's performing. At the moment, Garnacho is performing. And yes, Pelistri was performing, and yes, he needed to start, but the last game showed that at the moment he doesn't have what it takes. So we changed. So let our team be based on who is performing. In the central defensive position, Maguire is actually on form. I'm not a fan of Maguire. I wanted Maguire gone. But you can't deny the fact that he had a good game against Crystal Palace. So why not start him in the league game? Because Lindelof, as much as I love him, he's been off form. Our two most on-form defenders at the moment are Varane and Maguire. So start them. You don't have to worry about the build-up anymore because we have Onana, we have Amrabat. We have enough players for us to be better in the build-up. So that part of Maguire's game can be protected, for lack of a better word. Number five, stick with Ten Hag. There are people calling for Ten Hag to be sacked. We cannot afford to sack Ten Hag. This guy builds two world-beating Ajax teams. He knows how to build a team. And we are in a transitional period. Even when Arteta and Guardiola and Klopp joined their teams, it took them some time to get going. It took Arteta almost 3 seasons to get Arsenal where they are today. It took Klopp about 2 seasons, and it took Guardiola about 1 season. But that's because Guardiola is part of a machine in terms of the organizational structure of the club. Ten Hag needs to work through so many barriers. Now there are calls for Sancho to be called back because we are living in a world where there's player power and there are people who support players instead of clubs. I think we stick with Ten Hag. He's justified in dropping Sancho. Sancho needs to show that he's a team player. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think we need to change. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the General_Man United. Peace.